Okay, so CodeCademy module number 2, variables. Um, Variables are a completely fundamental and very important uh, concept. Um, and so hopefully this will be helpful. Um, so a variable is a container for a value. Um, you can think of variables as little containers for information that live in the computer's memory. Um, yeah, that's exactly right. Variables also provide a way for labeling data with a descriptive name, so our programs can be understood more clearly by the reader and ourselves. Um, so in short, variables label and store data in memory. There are a few things you can do with variables. Create a variable with a descriptive name, store or update information stored in a variable, reference or get information stored in a variable. It is important to distinguish that variables are not values. Okay, we'll come back to that. They contain values and represent them with a name. Observe the diagram with the colored boxes. Each box represents a variable. The values are represented by the content, and the name is represented with the label. In this lesson, we will cover how to use var, let, and const keywords to create variables. Cool. So you have a box, and you are putting sunshine inside of it. It's just text, so you can put the text sunshine inside of it, or 100, or true. And in programming, whenever I use like the label of the yellow box, if I like say console.log yellow box, it will give me sunshine. Or if I say console.log blue box, it will give me true, because the variable is the container, and whenever I access that variable, it gives me the value. Now, it might seem kind of dumb to say like, oh, why I just want like 100, right? Why can't I just type 100? Because this variable might be, it might be a list. It could be a list of 1,000 records. Say like you have a user, and you have 1,000 users, and you want to store those 1,000 users so you can access them multiple times. You would create a variable called users, and that user, and like that box, even though like this box only has the number 100, but later you might want to access all of your users. You're not going to type those out every time, so you create the variable so that you can access it consistently. Cool. Create a variable, var. Oh boy, I have opinions about this. There were lots of changes introduced in the ES6 version of JavaScript in 2015. One of the biggest changes was two new keywords, let and const. To create or declare variables prior to ES6, programmers could only use the var keyword. So you'd say, so here we're creating a variable, var, my name equals aria. And then you console.log my name, and it gives you its value, aria. Okay, big word alert, declare. Declare is one of those programmer jargon words that means to create. Declare means to create. And when you declare something, you are telling the, I want to zoom in a little bit, maybe this, you are telling the computer, store this in memory. Your computer has available memory. If your computer does not have available memory, it will crash. And and when you declare something, you're saying like here, var my name, you're saying var tells the computer, hey, make some space for some data. I'm about to give you data. And you give it a label, and then you tell it what data you want to store. So the var keyword is declaring. It means you are creating a variable, and the computer is going to partition. It will make some space in the physical machine to store that information. And when your program is done, it will like release it. unless it's like a database. Anyway, var is short for variable. In JavaScript, it is a JavaScript keyword that creates or declares a new variable. My name is the variable's name. Capitalizing in this way is a standard convention in JavaScript called camel casing. In camel casing, you use you group words into one. The first word is lowercase, and then every other word that follows is uppercase. Equals is the assignment operator. It's how you put data into an object. Aria is the value. After the variable is declared, the string value aria is printed. Okay, cool. So let's get into this. Declare a variable named favorite food using the var keyword. Okay, so I'm going to say var favorite food equals pizza. So this is saying computer store some data. This is the label for my data and pizza. Cool. All right, declare a variable named num of slices. Var num of slices equals 8. Okay, cool. Under num of slices variable, use console.log to print the value saved to a favorite food. So I'm going to print favorite food pizza. Wait. To print. My bad. I printed the wrong thing. Num of slices. Details. Oh wait, did I not do it? Oh, I did. There's 2 instructions and I didn't do them correctly. Cool. And all right, next. Great. Yeah. So create variables and assign them values. As mentioned in the previous exercise, the let keyword was introduced in ES6. ES6 is just a recent version of JavaScript. Languages change and evolve, and ES6 is it was a really big update, but there have been more updates since then. But ES6 was big. The let keyword signals that the variable can be reassigned a different value. Take a look at the example. Okay, cool. Let's start. Yeah. So let meal equal enchiladas. So it's just kind of like saying var meal equals enchiladas. We're saying let meal equal enchiladas. And var would do the same thing here. So when you console log meal, you get enchiladas. And then on line 3, you're saying meal equals burrito. When you console log meal again, you get burrito. So let's walk through this. Let meal declares or creates the variable and you give it a value. And then on line 3, why didn't you use the word let? Because it's already been declared. You can reuse that variable over and over and over again. So like meal, meal, meal. And you're just assigning it a new value on line 3. So you can change the value as many times as you want. Not that you should, but you can. Another concept that we should be aware of when using let or even var is that we can declare a variable without assigning the variable a value. In such case, the variable will be automatically initialized with the value of undefined. So let price. Okay, console log price, undefined, price equals 350, and now the price is equal to 350. Why would you do this? Because sometimes in your program you need to create data and you need to come back to it, or you want to reference it later. So you tell the computer, hey, create some space, save some memory space. So I'm going to create this variable so the computer will save the memory and put a sticker on that memory so I can come back and use it later. Notice in the example above, we don't assign a value and then we do assign a value later. So create a let variable called changeMe and set it to true. Let changeMe equal true. Disclaimer, I never use var anymore. In my personal code, I always use let or const, and I'm sure we'll get to const in a second. Okay, run that. On the line after change me is declared, set the value of change me to false. So change me equals false. To check if change me was reassigned, console.log the value change me. Console.log change me. False. Ding ding ding. Okay, so why would you want variables to be like updatable and changeable? Because you change data all the time. You change your password. You change your profile picture. That data changes all the time. Right here, like a second ago, this green box was not checked. That's because there was data, and that this application, this app, is keeping track of the data. And when I successfully ran this code, it triggered a data change and updated the screen. So variables are updatable, except const. The const keyword was also introduced in ES6. Long story short, simple data types, when they are const, they cannot be updated. So like if you try to change, so here they create a variable called my name, and then they print it. And if you tried to change my name, you would get an error, because const means constant. It means something that I don't want to be changed. So let can be changed, const cannot. So constant variable named entree. So create a variable named entree. Entree equals, spell this right, enchiladas. Okay, cool. Run that. Sweet. Just to check that you've saved the value of enchiladas, console log it. Okay. Console.log. Cool. Great. Let's see what happens if you try to reassign the constant variable. It's going to say you can't equals tacos. Okay. Check it out. All right. Boom. Error. Why? Like what? Well, like, I just want to say errors are your friend, because they tell you what you did wrong. Assignment to constant variable. You're trying to assign a value to something that is already constant. I'm gonna like break this one more time. Like I'm gonna make a little error, and like errors are your friend. Like here, I left off a quotation mark, and like if I didn't have my error, I'd just like run my code. Like why doesn't it work? And errors are your friend, because it says invalid or unexpected token at create script, and it's to tell you exactly where. Main.js line 3. Unexpected. So you go to main.js line 3, unexpected or invalid token, and it's saying like I'm trying to assign a value, but this doesn't make sense. It starts as a string but doesn't end as a string. Now it works. So anyway, cool. Mathematical assignment operators. Oh, this is good. It's a shortcut. Okay, so let's consider how we can. Oh no, this is not the shortcut stuff. Let's consider how we can use variables and math operators to calculate new values and assign them to a variable. Check out the example below. Let w equal 4. W equals w plus 1. And when you console w, it equals 5. So you're reassigning, you create a variable called w, give it a value, and then you update the value of w by getting the value of w and adding 1. And yeah, so what's going to happen is before it assigns this new value, this value is going to be, this expression is going to be evaluated. And then once it has that evaluated expression, then it will assign it the value to W. So you can excuse me, you can use variables to update themselves. Another way you can reassign it is plus equals 1. Yes. This is the shorthand for updating something. It's like add 1. You just do like the operator and equals, and it will do whatever you want. So like you can do like plus equals 1, divided equals 1, divided equals 2, whatever. This is the shorthand for W equals W plus 1. And we also have access to other mathematical assignment operators: minus equals, times equals, divide equals. Yeah. So x equals 20, x minus equals 5 gives you 15, and so forth. Cool. Let's see this. Use the plus equals mathematical assignment operator to increase the value stored in level up by 5. Okay. The space below. Level up plus equals 5. So use the minus equals to decrease power level by 100. Power level minus equals 100. Use the times equal to multiply me by 11. And quarter me by 4. So quarter me divided equals 4. So this is just the same as saying like equals quarter me divided by 4. Sweet. The increment and decrement operator. Oh yeah, okay, cool. Also a shorthand. On the mathematical operator, increment plus plus, decrement minus minus. So you have a variable a that's equal to 10, and you go a plus plus, and then it changes, it just increments it by 1. And 20, b minus minus, it decrements it. You could do, in this case, like you could do like a plus equals 1. You like both of these would update a by 1, but you can also do a plus plus. Both of those work. Use the increment operator, increase the value of gained dollar by 1. Gained dollar plus plus. Using the decrement value, the decrement operator, decrease lost dollar minus minus. String concatenation with variables. Cool. Yeah, great. Okay. So usually in the past we used text. We just like concat in the previous module we concatenated text with text with text, but you can use variables to do that too. So create a variable called favorite animal and set it to your favorite animal. So let heck no const favorite variable. No, favorite animal. I am tired. Favorite animal equals gorilla. And then, okay, cool. So let's do that. Run it. And then console log and my favorite animal : animal. Okay, console.log my favorite animal colon space plus favorite animal. Cool. This slide over. I don't know if you were like, oh wait, I can. Okay, cool. Give myself some more space. Cool. My favorite animal, gorilla. Yeah, so you can, like, because favorite animal is, it contains text. So when I use it, it will give me the text. String interpolation. In the ES6 version of JavaScript, we can insert or interpolate variables into strings using template literals. Check out the following example where a template literal is used to log strings together. Const pet equals armadillo, I own an armadillo. Yep, okay, cool. So this is, man, I can't tell you how great this is. Interpolation is another programmer word. It's different from concatenation because concatenation is like text plus text. But interpolation is like I have this text and like right here in the middle, I'm going to put some JavaScript right here. Like this is JavaScript. And then I keep on. So that's what interpolation is similar, but it's a little different. And before ES6, JavaScript did not do string interpolation very well. It was just kind of messy. It only did concatenation. No, that's not true. They did do interpolation, but it didn't. Anyway, I'm not going to go into it. I don't like how it used to do interpolation. And template literals are 10 out of 10 absolutely would see again. They're great. So you create a template literal by using backticks there next to the one where the tilde is. And then you just do $ parentheses and whatever variable you put in there, it'll use the value of the variable. So create a variable called my name, const my name. I said I only use let, but like if I don't want to change my name, I'll say const. My name. You know what? Let's use let. My name equals Tanner. Cool. Okay. Create a variable called my city. Let my city equal Mount Juliet, Tennessee. Use a single template literal to interpolate variables in the times below. My name is name, my favorite city is city. So I'm just going to copy this. And console.log. And I'm going to use two backticks, paste this in here, and then I'm going to replace this with $ curly braces, my name, replace city with $ curly braces, my city. My name is Tanner, and my favorite city is Mount Juliet. Cool. Type of operator. Okay, cool. Very useful. It will tell you the type of a variable, like what it contains. While writing code, it can be useful to keep track of data types of the variables in your program. If you need to check the data type of a variable's value, you can use the type of operator. Type of is useful. It can also be a little tricky, but there's a few gotchas, but it is useful. So console.log type of. Interestingly enough, you don't have to like invoke this. You don't have to call it, and it's not a method. You don't do like new variable dot type, right? Which I almost kind of wish it would. There are some languages like that, but you just type. You see, so this is a little different. Type of, and then new variable. String. Great. Now let's see what happens if we reassign the variable below console log to 1. Okay, cool. So below the console.log, so reassign it. So new variable now equals 1. I'm not going to say let, because that means it's trying to create a new variable, and I want to update the one that exists. So console.log. Actually, let's copy this. Number. I think I did this. Number. Sweet. So you can see it was a string and now it's a number. Little thing is there's another one called instant. Let's say like new variable instance of number. False. Okay. Anyway, I forgot to do that. Sweet. I have completed variables. Is this like a final test here? Okay. To learn more about these variables, take on these challenges. Create variables and manipulate the values. Check what happens when you try concatenating strings using variables of different data types. That's interesting. So like, let's say like, okay, yeah, that's a good, that might be a little confusing. JavaScript has some funny behavior, like, let's say like let name equals Tanner, and like let age equal, I think we've already seen this a bit, 34. If you console.log name plus space plus age, like what's it going to do? It's going to say Tanner 34, but 34 is a number. How can you add a number to a string? Well, JavaScript does something mostly smart. Sometimes that this is a string and this is a string and this is not, and everything can be turned into a string. Everything can be turned into text. So it's like, hey, this is not text. So we're gonna wrap it. We're gonna wrap 34 in quotation marks and move on, because we're dealing with a string, and that's what happens. If you were to reverse that though, it doesn't work. It doesn't play as nice. If you try to add a number to a string, it'll work. But if you try to add a string to a number, it does not. It says, oh wait, what? That does not. That's funny. That should not work. Wait. Say nan. Yeah, okay. I guess I thought, anyway. But in some programming languages, you cannot add numbers. If you wanted to do that, you'd have to say like, it was explicitly like to string, which would like convert it to a string, and you're fine. But JavaScript is flexible, so cool. Congrats, I'm not going to upgrade. Anyway, that's all for variables at the moment. Wait, what is this? Oh, this is the next lesson.